It's time for me to show you this.
Hello everybody, it is the 19th of August, which is a record latest start to the video diaries. What can I say? The last 2 weeks have been very admin heavy, consequently overwhelming, and consequently not of much interest to you to watch. So I purposely did not record any of it. The funding application is looming, can't deny that. I've just been trying to get that absolutely right. You know, I've had a meeting about it with someone and I need to make some changes. And musician front, the drummer's got back to me now, so it's all going to be a little bit later than I thought. Possibly next video diary now, rather than this one. But things are going to happen. Absolutely, definitely going to happen. And I'm currently in a bus station in London. I'm heading to Bristol today for a day out. Might as well show you because I'm going to be heading to my favourite vegan cafe in Bristol, potentially my favourite vegan cafe anywhere. And I probably have documented it before because I performed there in 2023. That was where I performed my Bristol date. So looking forward to sharing that with you. And apart from that, only my patrons will know what I'm talking about here. But I've been thinking about Soul Machine again, quite a lot actually, for the last few months. And my feeling is that it needs to be tweaked again. I know. I spent like 3 months tweaking it. The main reason is, while probably in and of itself it's a decent thing, it's okay, it's not bad, the more I kind of work on the other stuff, the more I realise it doesn't fit in with anything else. And it's a really important thing to me on this one, that everything fits together really nicely. So I'm going to have to go back and make some changes. Yeah. Which is probably a good thing why, when it comes to the drummer, why I didn't hear from them, because if I had heard from them and we'd already got a date in for when I originally wanted, well, I wouldn't have been ready. So it's all working out just perfectly. But yeah, I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed because I've got that to do. I've got the funding application to get right, which is mainly just a budget spreadsheet. That's the really tough bit. The really tough thing about it is that I'm having to make some cuts to things, and I'm trying to do that without compromising my vision and without compromising what I'd originally planned to do, which is really challenging. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But yeah, welcome to a day out in Bristol. I got back really late from Bristol last night, and it was a lovely day. Had a great time. Can't recommend Cafe Kino enough, although they're obviously better when they've got their sandwiches in stock, which sold out. They sold out and it was 1 o'clock when I got there, so that tells you how early you have to be. And I had a lovely meal at, I think it was called Kucha. It's like a Persian, Lebanese, vegan restaurant. It was really good as well. Though it was a lot of food, I did end up very, very full. So you might want to share something with someone if you go there. Unfortunately, today didn't start off very well because I got home so late last night that I missed my meeting this morning that I'd booked in for 10 o'clock with a PR agency. And now I have no idea what's going to happen with that, if they're going to get back to me or not, because obviously they wouldn't have been happy with the fact that I missed it. So yeah, that was really gutting. Also, update with the stock issue, getting my stock back. It's really tricky because, well, firstly, getting the information is really challenging on every single level, and there seems to be stock that's been sold on by the distributor that my label used to other stockists, to other distributors. The best I can do, which is what I've done, is ask for who these people are and give that information to you. Okay, so I've come back for wide-eyed. I was thinking of changing the key, but I've decided I'm not going to. But I am going to re-record the vocals because I just had some rough ones in, and I'm just going to re-record some new rough ones. And then I'll do the actual ones. And I've also been adding in some new effects just to sweeten it out. I did previously have some like slightly cringy bits, but I've managed to make them sound nice. So I had a xylophone and I had a harp, but I've added an effect onto them called impact echo and also one note twist. Just kind of softened it a little bit, made it a little bit more. A little bit more palatable, and obviously I can't bounce the audio yet, but once I've bounced the audio I want to give them a really nice long reverb tail as well. That'll make it nice. I've also added in another flourish of another part that's somewhere else, just to tie it in, and I've added this little kind of, yeah, which is just like a reverse of the piano sound used in the track, with some effects on it. I've got something called discrete beat dirt, tremolo, a sort of auto boy, yeah, bunch of stuff. And that's kind of it really, and I've shortened it. The end was going on and on and on, so I shortened it by about a section, not a section, by like a round. Anyone in Patreon will know what I'm talking about, with like it repeats a lot at the end, and I've just taken one of those bits out, and that's kind of what I've done now. And my next attention needs to focus on Soul Machine. Obviously I need to bounce all of these bits in as well, get all of that sounding neat and tidy, and demo into Patreon. But after that, Soul Machine needs to be my focus, because the recording session could be really soon. Still haven't confirmed it, but the first recording session will be with the drummer, and that could be any time between next week and the week after. So that's not a lot of time. Anybody who's non-Patreon is not going to have a clue what Soul Machine is, unless you've come to a live show 2 years ago where I played a very early version of it. But basically it's one of the first songs I worked on, and at the time it was very angsty, very edgy, and I didn't really, I mean I was happy with it when I finished it in like March or something. And now I've worked on a couple of much more upbeat tracks, and I've gone back and realised it just doesn't fit. It's just not the right vibe, and I don't really like it as it is now either. So it needs redoing, it needs lightening up a little bit. It can still be haunting, it can still be a bit sad, but I don't want it to be that dark and that... So that's the aim with that one. It's a sunny day in London, and I've got family visiting, and I haven't spent a huge amount of time with them so far, and they've been here nearly two weeks. So today I'm spending some time with them. I'm on my way to the Royal Observatory, which embarrassingly enough, even though I've lived in London my whole life, I've never been to. It's also the home of the Prime Meridian, which is where time originates from, I think. So yeah, excited to get to know it for the first time. Look at the size of that hill. Woo! Woo! And it keeps going. So I've been to the observatory. It was really cool. Particularly like the telescope. This view and like the whole vibe of it really reminded me of the observatory in LA. The telescope here is probably not as big as the one in LA, but it was still very impressive. spent the day at Legoland with family today. I didn't end up doing many rides because paradoxically I love theme parks, like love them to death, but I don't like most theme park rides because I don't like the roller coasters. I don't like anything remotely scary that swings or that goes up and down or that... No, it's not for me. But I do like the tame stuff, the really tame stuff. And I do like the atmosphere and I love meeting characters, so that's what I did. And now we're heading back to Windsor station to head home. Coming to the end of the month, but things are just getting really exciting. The drummer's confirmed. The guitarist slash bass player is confirmed. We don't have a studio for the drummer yet, but fingers crossed that's going to resolve itself at some point. And I've also made some serious progress with the new version of Soul Machine. In fact, I think it's pretty much finished. And I did the vast majority of it today as well, which I don't know, it's crazy sometimes, isn't it? When inspiration strikes, what things can be achieved. And I was panicking because the drummer session is in a week, or just over a week, and I was like, come on, you need to get this done. And I've somehow done it in about 1 and a bit days work. So yeah, it's really good to be ahead because it means I can get on with other stuff. I've got some vocals to catch up on because I didn't record any vocals when I was working on Love Starved, and I didn't record vocals for Wide Eyed either. So I need to do those. And main reason is I needed to get my chest vocal strength back up, particularly. It's one of the things that's always been a little bit less strong in my voice. Fun fact, I grew up singing in choirs and I was always in the top parts. That's what they always put me in. And I don't know if it's because I already had a strong higher voice, but it probably didn't help in that it made me probably really strong up there, or even stronger up there. It didn't really train me down here, so I've always had to really work hard to get this lower register stronger. And it's kind of slipped, I guess, a little bit over the last couple of years. I'm not really performing, just mainly writing and not recording vocals that much. So yeah, I've been working on that, and it's time to start catching up on vocals, and then I'll move on to another track. But the other reason obviously that I need to get the vocals done is that I need to, pretty much as soon as the tracks are recorded, need to get a mix together for 3 of them, and hopefully get 1 mix back before the deadline for the funding application, which is the end of next month, just before the end of next month. And the other thing that's good is that I managed to get the PR meeting rescheduled, because I was so worried after that disaster, I'd never be able to get a hold of them again. Thankfully, got it rescheduled, had the meeting, and gonna see what they say. They're gonna write back to me, hopefully next week. We need to wrap up this video, Diary. It's the 1st of September, but before we go, it's time for me to show you this, because I've been meaning to look at this for about 2 months now. I've had this for about 2 months, and it's just been so crazy, so busy, and I want to try it. The last time I tried a theremin was when I was with the Kingston University Stylophone Orchestra. I was playing with the one that they had, which was a Moog one, I think. Don't quote me on that. It's that white one that comes on a stand. This is the Stylophone Theremin. Stylophone Theremin. Weird and wonderful sounds at your fingertips. What happens when you combine the quirky analog sounds of the original pocket synthesizer with the sci-fi tech of a vintage electronic instrument? Say hello to the Stylophone Theremin, a portable sonic gadget that responds to your touch
to create a plethora of mesmerising and crazy sounds. Create screaming modulated drones, beautifully haunting melodies and unpredictable glitches from scratch, and get your hands on with an experimental array of knobs and buttons. Where will it take you? Choose classic, antenna or sliders, connect headphones or speakers, go portable with AA battery power. Amazing. And then once you open that bit of the box, you get this bit of the box. Really fun design, gotta love it. And then you lift it open like this. And that's when you got this. Wow. And you've got a little quick start guide. And here it is. Let's get it set up. It looks like it needs about 6 AA batteries, so I need to go and grab some of those. Okay, so it's making a sound. Okay, so that's to make it higher. Lower, higher octave. Okay, so that has quite an impact. So it looks like you've got this kind of keyboard style way of, which is, it's a good thing to have this keyboard style way of adjusting the pitch for people that are not so confident doing it the traditional way, which is, if you don't know, it's kind of with little very tiny hand movements with the antenna, which is up here. And then you've also got like a knob here. To change the pitch. Okay, so this is the delay panel. You can hear it a little bit now. Let's turn that back off now for a minute. Okay, so this is the antenna section, so that's obviously controlling the antenna, which we're not using currently. And you can have, it looks like a mix of the two, if you want. Can't really see my hand, but I'm playing with the antenna. Let's go back to the slide. Trigger? What does trigger do? Let me have a look. Trigger makes the single sounds using the trigger button. Okay, okay. We were on drone mode, that's why it was droning. Look at me, I'm discovering it with you. Okay, so you can just play it like a just like a normal instrument in a slightly unusual way, but you can. I suppose live this wouldn't really work because of the button noise, but could be good for recording. Then you've got the vibrato. This sounds a bit more like a traditional theremin sound. Let's try the other waveform. So this one's a little bit more buzzy. And now let's try the delay. Let's try doing some harmony. awesome. I think it's really cool. Yeah, it looks like it's got connection for your headphones, as it said, and then another connection here for mains. You can take batteries, or you can connect it electronically as well. And yeah, really cool little piece of gear. I think it's been used recently on stage by St. Vincent, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been making the rounds, doing really well. We talked about the making of this on the Sound of Stylus podcast, I believe, so if you want to check that out, go and have a listen. Really fun instrument. I can't believe it's been this long before I've waited to try it. And in terms of what's happened to my CDs that I was talking about earlier in this video diary, I still don't know the full picture of what's going on, but what I do know is that they're being sold on websites, and these are probably the people that the CDs were sold on to by the distributor, some of which are selling them for quite high prices, like a lot higher prices than I would ever sell them for. My interest here is not to get all the CDs back, and it's not to get all the CDs in my possession and whatever. It's for the CDs to be sold and to not end up in the worst case scenario situations for them to end up in landfill. So if you haven't bought a CD copy of my debut album or my EP and you really want to, you can do that. I will leave all these links that I found to different websites. Full disclosure, that money will not be coming to me. It will be going to whoever's bought it from the distributor who bought it from my label, or whatever. I don't know quite how that's worked, but it's not going to me anyway. But that's not the point. I just want them to get sold. Best case scenario, they're all gone and nothing ends up in landfill. But sadly, it seems to be out of my hands for the most part. So this is what I can do. So if you're in Europe and you don't want to have to order it from me and pay a tariff or whatever, and same for US, please buy it from these places. I want them to all find good homes. That's the main thing. So they're all linked below. Thanks as always for your support. Thank you to the Dangerverse for supporting this video. As always, they mean everything to me, and you can check out more about that below. In terms of what to expect this coming month, I told you a bunch of stuff last month, most of which didn't happen, I don't think. This coming month, oh boy, there are things happening. Definitely, I've got the drummer session booked in now for next week. I've got the guitar/bass session booked in for the week after. And I've got vocals to finish because the funding application deadline is this month. It's opened today, the funding application, and the deadline is before the end of this month, of September that we're now in. So yeah, it's all got to happen this month, for sure, for sure. And who knows what else lies ahead. But that's what you can look forward to if you decide to tune in next time. So thanks a lot for watching as well. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, leave some thoughts if you like, and hit the notification bell so you find out about the future videos, because YouTube doesn't always tell you that. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.